In today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to master jazz harmony with a complete guide through the modes of the major, harmonic, and melodic scales. After this lesson, you're going to have a complete understanding of almost all most important scales and chords in jazz harmony, but not just for jazz harmony, for harmony in general. And this is going to give you many more musical tools that you can use for your compositions and for your improvisation. So let's dive in, but first let me apologize for my voice. Maybe you noticed I have a bit of a cold, but I still wanted to record this lesson for you. So let's start with the modes from the major scale. So what are the modes? If we take the major scale, we can play, of course, from, let's take C major, from C to C. And we're going to have the classic major scale that everyone knows, and this scale is called Ionian. That's the first mode. But we have 7 notes in the major scale, and from each one of these notes we can build a new scale, a completely different sounding scale, even though we are still using the same notes, the same 7 notes. So if we play the C major scale from D to D, for example, so meaning that, so you hear how different it sounds, right? This is a Dorian scale. So it's a minor scale with a raised 6, basically. So we have 1, 2, minor third, 4, 5, 6, minor 7, and the root again. And this sound is very, very important in jazz music, but also in funk music. And it's a minor 6th chord. It sounds like this. You hear how interesting, how different it sounds from the normal C major. But we are still using the same notes. So that would be the second mode. And now the third one, the Phrygian scale. So the Phrygian scale is built on the 3rd degree of the major scale. And it sounds like this. So you hear the Phrygian scale has something like a flamenco vibe, and it's a special scale. It's a minor scale, but it has a flat 9. So we start with a half step. So we have 1, flat 2, minor third, 4, 5, flat 6, minor 7, and root again. And this sound is a minor chord, but with a flat 9, so something like this. Minor 7, but with a flat 9. Now, the Lydian scale, very important scale. And what is that actually? It's like a major scale with a raised 4, or as we call it in the jazz music, a sharp 11. So this scale is built on the 4th degree of the major scale, and it goes like this. You hear the sound? It's major, 7, but with a sharp 11. It sounds very nice, right? Pretty mysterious. And now we have another very, very important scale, which is the Mixolydian scale. The scale built on the 5th degree of the major scale. So if we are in C, from G to G. So the dominant chord, a major triad with a minor 7. So this is a scale that you also hear a lot in jazz and blues, of course. For example, this. This is the Mixolydian scale. Now we have the natural minor scale, so the Aeolian scale, built on the 6th degree of the major scale. And it sounds like this, of course, you probably already know it. So we have 1, 2, minor 3rd, 4, 5, flat 6, minor 7, and the root again. Natural minor. Sounds like this. And now the last one from the major world, it's the Locrian scale. So the scale built on the 7th degree of the major scale. And it sounds like this. So we have 1 minor flat. So we have 1 flat 9, flat 2, minor 3rd, 4, flat 5. So we have a half diminished chord here because we have minor 6, flat 6 again, minor 7, not 6. So we have a half diminished chord. And it sounds like this. If we play the chord, it's a half diminished chord. That's it. Those are the modes of the major scale. And already like that, it's pretty interesting. But now, with the next two big worlds, meaning the harmonic minor world and the melodic minor world, we have so many more different colors that we can use in our playing. So, let's start with the harmonic minor. So here we have 7 more new scales, and I must say not all of them are really important, but we're gonna go through all of them so that you really have an overview, and maybe you choose to pick one that you like and compose something with it. So the first one, of course, is the harmonic minor scale, so the 1st degree, and it sounds like this. If we take it east, we still stay in C, but now we have C minor, then we have we have 1, 2, minor 3rd, 4, 5. Then we have the flat 6, but the major 7. And this interval, this 1.5 step, is what it's giving the scale this oriental vibe, this kind of Arabic flavor. And this is a very special chord already because it's a minor major 7. This is the 9 notes. It sounds like this. So arpeggiator will be interesting sound, right? So the 2nd degree is not so used, but let's take a look at it anyway. It's it sounds like this. So we have 1, flat 2, minor third, 4, flat 5, so we have diminished so far. But then we have a raised 6, so we have a major 6, minor 7, and the root again. So we have a half diminished with a flat 9 and a 6th. Strange, right? So a half diminished basically, but with a 11 and also with a 6. Kind of also mysterious sounding, little special. Yeah, so a Dorian but flat 5, so with a half diminished chord. So let's move to the third degree of the harmonic minor scale, and this one is an important one, and it sounds like this. So you heard maybe what it is? It's 1, 2, 3, so we have a major, 4, but then a raised 5 or a flat 13, but in that case it's a raised 5 because we have also the 13 and a major 7. So we have a major 7, 13, but with a sharp 5. So that's the chord. It's kind of an augmented sound, but with a major 7. So you can use this scale for augmented major 7 chords, and that's the sound. Kind of interesting. Now, the fourth degree of the melodic minor scale is kind of a weird scale. It sounds like this. So it's a minor scale that has a raised 4. So it's a Lydian minor. It's like this. It's 1, 2, minor third, sharp 11, so sharp 4, 5, and then we have 6. Then we have the minor 7 and the root. So basically it's a Dorian sharp 11. We could call it like that. Strange sound, not used so much actually. Now, a very important one, the Phrygian dominant. I'm sure you already heard about that scale. This one is like the Mixolydian in the minor world, because it's on the 5, on the 5th degree of the scale. It's for a dominant chord that resolves to the 1. So it's, in that case, a G7, flat 9, flat 13. But be careful, that's not altered. That's not an altered scale. That's a Mixolydian flat 9, flat 13, or Phrygian dominant. We have 1, flat 2, then 3, 4, 5, flat 13, minor 7, and root. And that's a very, very important scale, especially as the dominant sound for the minor world, so the tension and release in the minor universe. Now, the 6th degree of the harmonic minor scale is also again another not so famous scale, and it's actually the flat 6th degree. It starts from A flat, in that case, in C harmonic minor, and it sounds like this. So it's a major with a sharp 9. Interesting sound. So a major scale, but also with a sharp 9. And the sharp 9 is actually the same thing as the minor third. So we have both thirds together. These two, sharp 9, major third. So we have 1, sharp 2, sharp 9, 3. It's a Lydian scale because we have the sharp 11, sharp 4. Then we have the 5, we have the 6th, and then we have the major 7. So it's a Lydian sharp 9, basically. Special sound. And now the last one of the harmonic minor world is this scale, and it's the only diminished scale we have as a mode. So it's not the symmetrical diminished scale, it's actually a mode. It's built on the 7th degree of the harmonic minor scale, and it's this scale. It sounds like this. So we have 1, flat 2, then actually we have the minor third, then we have also the third. It starts like a symmetrical diminished scale. Then we have sharp 4, then we have flat 13, then we have the minor 7, and then we're back to the root. Now, the most important universe, which is the melodic minor universe. From that scale, we actually have many modes that are very, very important, that are used all the time in jazz music, but not just in jazz music. And these modes are very important, especially during modal interchange. And if you don't know what modal interchange is, well, it's very easy to understand as a concept. Now we are checking out all these three worlds, right? The modes from the major scale, the modes from the harmonic minor scale, and the modes from the melodic scale. And modal interchange, as the word says, it's interchanging modes, so like borrowing modes from all the three different worlds. So that means that we can have a major tune that is actually using the major scale or the modes from the major scale, and suddenly we have a color that doesn't come from the major scale, but that comes from the harmonic or the melodic minor scale. For example, we could have a dominant sharp 11 chord. That makes no sense in the major world, but it makes sense in the melodic minor world. And now let's dive in and let's understand all these 7 new modes that are very important. So, first mode, the melodic minor scale, is a major scale with a minor third, or it's a minor scale with a raised 6 and a raised 7. So 1, 2, minor third, and then 4, 5, 6, 7. It sounds like this. And also here, the chord is a minor major 7. And this chord is the same one like the minor major 7 of the harmonic minor scale, but here we have a 6th. So it's also a minor 6 chord, like the Dorian scale, but with a major 7. So the second degree of the melodic minor scale is not super important, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. It's a Dorian flat 9. So we have 1, flat 2, minor third, 4, 5, 6, minor 7, and a root again. So it would be a Dorian scale if it wasn't for the flat 9. So it's a minor 6 chord, but with that. All right, now the third degree is a very important one, and it's for the augmented chords. And this one is a Lydian sharp 5. So we have interesting sound, right? So we have an augmented sound, but also sharp 11. So it could be this, but with a sharp 11. So it's this sound. Very important one for the augmented major 7 chords. And now one of the most important sounds from the melodic minor scale. And this one is the Mixolydian sharp 11 or Lydian dominant, which is built on the 4th degree of the melodic minor scale. So if we are still in C melodic minor, then we're playing from F to F, and what we are getting is this sound. So, dominant, sharp 11. Very important one. Now the 5th degree, that's kind of important, but we have stronger dominant scales. But this one is again a dominant one, and it's built on the 5th degree, of course. And it's a Mixolydian scale with a flat 13, but we have a 9th. So the scale goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far Mixolydian, and then flat 13, so flat 6, minor 7. So the sound is a flat 13, but with a 9. So this is the sound. And now the 6th degree of the melodic minor scale, also very important one, and it's the Locrian 9th with the natural 9, and it sounds like this. So it's a Locrian sounding, but with the 9th. Also interesting. And you can use this one for the 2-5-1 in minor. So on the 2nd degree, you can play Locrian 9. And it's a very interesting sound, and I explain it in a lesson on my Patreon channel. If you want to check it out, you can go to the link in the description and take a look at this lesson. It's not for free, but if you're taking music really seriously and you'd like to go a little deeper into that kind of things, then you're gonna learn how to improvise over a 2-5-1 chord progression, also in minor, with the same strategy like I explained in a lesson on YouTube in major. but in minor it's a little more tricky, and you're going to use this scale. So maybe check it out. And last but not least, one of the most important modes ever, the altered scale, so the super Locrian scale. And this one is built on the 7th degree of the melodic minor scale. I already did a full lesson about this topic. If you want to check it out, it's for free here on the YouTube channel. And the altered scale is very important for dominant chords. What's peculiar about this scale is that every note of the scale except the root is basically made flat. So we have some strange things that we have to say. For example, we have 1, flat 2, then we have flat 3, so minor third, then we have flat 4, but flat 4 is the third, the major third, right? So instead of calling this note with that name, then let's say 1, flat 2 or flat 9, sharp 2 or sharp 9, 3, then we have sharp 11, would be a flat 5, sharp 11, then we have flat 13, and also the minor 7. So we have and the sound of this is all altered tensions you can imagine. So sharp 9, flat 9, flat 13, sharp 11. And this is the most dissonant chord took alone like that, but in context it's gonna work perfectly well to have some tension that you then resolve. And there's a full lesson about that, so go check it out. That's it. Those are the 21 most important scales in jazz harmony, or in harmony in general. There are actually 7 more that come from the harmonic major scale, but this is maybe a topic that is way too advanced, and it's probably for another lesson. So let me know in the comments if you like that type of content, more on the theoretical side, and let me know if it was helpful, if you have questions, and what are your wishes for future lessons. So don't forget to check out my Patreon channel, because you're gonna find also the free PDF from this lesson and all other lessons. And maybe you could consider signing up to the channel to dive a little deeper into music and learn much more than you would just with the YouTube lessons. So thanks a lot, and see you for the next video.